Hey y'all, we've got some really sweet, really wholesome Robin Williams news sort of tidbit, sort of, a peek into him a little bit more. We've got the MTA on some nonsense, and my message to them is basically stop it, stupid. And really cool historical thing going on that I didn't know, but I found out this week that they were making and storing ice in the Persian desert. Like at 400 BC. All right, y'all. Interesting stuff. Stay tuned. Yeah, it's a Social Millennial podcast. We out here, gang. If y'all don't know what it is, y'all about to find out. For those of y'all who know what it is, welcome back. Thank y'all for taking the time out of your day, whether it be cleaning, whether it be on your lunch hour, whether it be in the morning over some coffee, or just whenever. Thanks a lot for pulling up to the podcast. Thanks a lot for pulling up on your boy. All right, because we chilling. We kicking back. For those of y'all who don't know what this is the Social Millennial Podcast. Marcus Pena presents is in the front of this title on purpose. I am Marcus Pena. This is just a little kickback that we have every week, little chill vibes. We get to vibe out over news, pop culture things that go on during the week that I am kind of interested in. You feel me? Sometimes you'll get a wild combination. Sometimes we'll spend a whole episode talking about one thing. Sometimes I'll just rant. Sometimes the tinfoil hat's gonna come on, but I would definitely give y'all a disclaimer when that time comes. We talk combat sports, we talk movies, we talk government and politics, we talk emotional and mental development. Where I be at, the things that I be going through during the week as a musician, as a person who is in the creative sector, as an actor. You feel me? And just as a dude that's a millennial interacting with the world. So that's what this is about for y'all who are the first timers. If you want to watch this podcast, hello, what up, y'all? In the visual component, we are on YouTube. Type in @ symbol Social Millennial Pod. That's SocialMillenialpod. Spelled exactly that way. Any other way, and Google, YouTube, etc. is going to ask you, are you sure you want to do this way? Or it's just going to serve you something else different. So that's what you got to put in the search bar for YouTube. And you could definitely find us. Come by, subscribe. We have a good time here in the studio. And if you watch and maybe you don't want to spend the time watching me, you got other stuff to do. You feel me? People got to walk. They got to run. They got a job. They got to work. There is an audio component. So absolutely, check out our audio component. We are on social media, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Radio Public. I believe we're on Pandora too. Most places that you find your audio content, you will find us. We're on Amazon Podcasts. But if you are a little bit more old school, a little bit more, let me not say old school because some of y'all get set off with that. A little bit more traditional, and you want to kind of go to your desktop, you kind of want to hit your web browser to get the content, to experience the brand, you feel me? There will be a link to the homepage, the home landing page of our show in its audio format down in the description of wherever you're at. Some places it will be the word homepage, and you could just tap that or click that and it'll take you right to it. Some places it will be the link itself. It'll be the homepage word and a link under that. But you click that, hit that, tap that, and it will take you to the landing page where you will have free access to every single episode that we do here, as well as all the other links if you want to engage with us on social media. Bow, segue. We are on social media. Bow. Instagram. We are on Facebook. We're not on X, formerly Twitter. Had some issues with them. But you could definitely find us on IG. We are also on TikTok. Again, all of these places, to make it very easy for all of y'all, @ Social Millennial Pod. The same is on YouTube. @ symbol SocialMillenialpod. The same everywhere. So if you're wondering whether we're on a certain platform, you kind of forget what I say during these segments in the beginning of the show, just go to Google and type in the handle, and it'll show you everything. But you got to spell it that way. That is us. That is the brand. We out here. Thank y'all so much for coming back. Last week was probably one of our longest episodes. I opened the episode by saying it's probably not going to be that long, but it was long. I basically did an entire recap, review, breakdown of Disney's The Marvels, and then talked about how Disney kind of screwed the pooch. I'm not going to cuss on here, how they kind of just jacked it all up. You feel me? They just jacked it all up. They've been jacking up Marvel. They've been jacking up Star Wars. They've just kind of been commodifying it, throwing money at the problem, and just things getting worse and them kind of not caring about it. But we're not going to go into that. We spent 2 episodes of going into Disney, Marvel, and kind of why it's trash, and my theories, my tinfoil hat theories as to why it's been going the way it's been going, and they haven't been listening to the consumer, to their main consumers, as to what they like, so that they can continue to make money and continue to elevate their profits and continue to line their investors' pockets. They've been losing billions of dollars, billions over billions over billions over the past 10 years cumulatively. They've been losing so much money of their investors. So much of their investors' money. So yeah, we're not going to talk about that. But last week's episode, super long, but we had some audio issues. This episode should be nice and pristine, or at least up to the standard that all of our past, or most of our past episodes have been up to. Yeah, your boy started real small, started real humble. So you go back to those first episodes, it's a little rough. But you got to start somewhere. You feel me? We got to start from the bottom. Started from the bottom. Now we here. Started from the bottom. We here, and we still trying to get over there. So if y'all could please support the show, like, subscribe, give me some star reviews, some star ratings, write a review of this podcast, of this episode. If you hate it, let us know. Be a hater. All y'all haters out there that hate watch me, because I know y'all is out there. I know y'all niggas is out there. Y'all hate watch me. Y'all hate like me. Y'all all on IG and socials and all that nonsense. Continue to hate on me. Let me know how you feel. Talk to me. Talk to me in the comments where available. Give me a review where available / applicable. Follow, like our social medias. You feel me? Where applicable. Pull up, y'all. If y'all are on Facebook and y'all are a little washed, yes, I said it. Facebook is washed. I'm on it, but it just is what it is. You feel me? Let us know. If y'all are on IG, let us know too. IG is really fun. We get really active there. It's very much so a millennial meme dump. So absolutely, if y'all love some funny memes, y'all love New York memes, y'all love movie memes, pull up, follow your boy, because we do some fun stuff there. I throw some really cool, interesting, very funny, very engaging memes up there, and some clips. TikTok is for clips. Y'all already know. But yeah, pull up. If y'all want to support, that's the best way to support without spending no money, because these episodes is free. Just like, subscribe, share it, hit the notification bell, give me a review, give me star ratings, follow it on Spotify, etc. All of that great stuff where applicable. That's how y'all support what I'm doing here for free. For free. I'm not asking y'all for no money. You don't have to go through a paywall to catch this episode. Eventually there will be a paywall, but these episodes will continue to be free. We're going to be having bonus episodes coming. We're going to be having other deep dive episodes coming. We're going to have reaction videos coming. We're going to have movie review videos coming. All kinds of content that's going to be coming soon. Probably not this year. Probably in 2024. We're getting it geared up. You feel me? But the groundwork has already been laid for some really great, really fun content. Y'all will be able to have a say in what we do. We'll have polls, all kinds of things, merch giveaways, all of that. Now, if y'all want to contribute a little more than just liking, subscribing, y'all really want or like or endorse the content, endorse the vision, y'all see where your boy's trying to get to, y'all can absolutely head over to the merch store. I don't have any Cash Apps or any links or anything set up for the show. So don't worry. I'm not out here talking about Cash App me, Venmo me just out of nowhere. I want y'all to get something too. Get something tangible. If you're going to throw the show some funds in any kind of way to show your support, if you want to support at that level, I would like y'all to get even more back. I don't ever want to receive stuff for free or receive and then, y'all feel like where's y'all money going? pull up to the merch shop. There will be a link in the description of wherever you're watching or listening to this. Again, the same kind of deal. The word merch shop might be clickable, or it might be merch shop and a link under it that you can click on or tap on, and definitely grab something there. We've got crazy sales going on because of Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We are going to have even more crazy sales going on for Christmas in the month of December. I'm talking 45% off, $12 shirts. I mean, we've got shirts, hoodies, baby clothes, wall art. We've got banners. We've got pins. We've got tumblers. We've got mugs. We've got phone cases. I mean, we've got so much. Just rep it. And should y'all buy something that's a wearable or even a mug or even wall art, absolutely take a picture of that, model it for us, and hit us with the either tag us in your post it up, tag us at socialmillenialpod, or hashtag it socialmillenialpod, and we will absolutely feature y'all on the socials. We will feature y'all repping the brand on Facebook. We will feature y'all repping the brand on IG. Absolutely do that, because we love to pay it forward. So you buy that, you contribute, you buy that merch, throw out your funds to get this show. Maybe have us have a 2-camera, 3-camera setup. Maybe get us a little bit more, a little higher production value. You feel me? You get some merch, you post it up, we will shout you out. We will repost it. We will share it. We will feature it in the stories, etc. I mean, you put your boy on, I put y'all on. You feel me? So absolutely, if y'all want to invest, or not so much invest, but if y'all feel like y'all are with the vision and y'all want to bless more than just tapping a thumbs up or a heart icon, y'all can do that. All right. So thank y'all so much. Now that the newbies, now that the noobs, now that the first timers are initiated, let's get to it. So today, really cool, heartfelt story. I am an actor and continuing. I am an actor, have acted, and am continuing to develop as one. And so this story kind of hit home with me on different levels, because I'm a fan of this dude. Was a huge fan of this dude. Grew up on his movies, grew up on his content, grew up on his stand-up. And it was just a tragedy when we lost him. Truly a tragedy when we lost him. I'd love to hear what he thinks about what's going on now, not just in the comedy world, not just in sort of the acting world, with the strikes and so on, but just with the world in general. I mean, we really lost a light when we lost this dude. But this great story came out off of the 30th anniversary of Mrs. Doubtfire, which was November. You guys will probably see this episode on the 1st of December. But yeah, November was 30th anniversary of Mrs. Doubtfire for Robin Williams. And the director, Chris Columbus, let out a pretty interesting tidbit of information, a few tidbits that are super intriguing. Because remember, this film came out in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, in the 90s, filmed and dropped. I loved this movie. This is Mrs. Doubtfire, and this is according to Variety. We're starting to get a little bit more detailed, y'all. I'm getting back to my journalistic roots, if you will. But yeah, according to Variety, this is Robin Williams improvised so much on Mrs. Doubtfire that roughly 2 million feet of film was shot. The director, Chris Columbus, still has approximately 972 boxes full of outtakes and more. Let's hit these quotes real quick. According to Chris Columbus, this is quote, "Early on in the process, he went to me. Hey boss, the way I like to work, if you're up for it, is I'll give you 3 or 4 scripted takes and then let's play." Columbus remembered about working with Williams. Quote, "By saying that, what he meant was he wanted to improvise. And that's exactly how we shot every scene. We would have exactly what was scripted, and then Robin would go off, and it was something to behold." Now, this day and age, we're no stranger to improvisational filmmaking. I mean, a bunch of actors do that. I mean, what's his name? Scorsese complained about this dude, Leo, improvising so much of the script in the past film. I forget the name of the film that he was. I think it was also with Robert De Niro. It was like an old Western theme. I forget the name of it. But we're no stranger this day and age to this kind of improvisational acting, and really just going off of script. We had our offices and Parks and Recreation, etc. But remember, this is the 90s. They don't really roll like that too much in the 90s. So this was a new thing and an interesting thing because people weren't doing that then. Chris Columbus says, the poor script supervisor. Remember, this is the early 1990s. She wasn't typing what he was saying. She was handwriting it, and Robin would change every take. So Robin would go to a place where he couldn't remember much of what he said. We would go to the script supervisor and ask her, and sometimes she didn't even get it all. Often, he would literally give us a completely different take than what we did along the written takes. Than what we did doing the written takes. Columbus said on several occasions, Williams improvised so much dialogue that he used up all the film that was loaded into the camera. He said, it got to the point that I had to shoot the entire movie with 4 cameras to keep up with him. The director recalled, none of us knew what he was going to say when he got going. And so I wanted a camera on the other actors to get their reactions. The studio was loving what they were seeing. Did they watch everything? I don't think so. We shot almost 2 million feet of film on that picture, which is wild to me because, there's generally going to be a whole lot more film that you don't use that gets chopped out just of plot, etc. But to be improving so much, you do like 3-4 takes of what's on the script, and then you could do 5 takes of improving. That's wild. That's wild. And then because he was doing so much, to have mad cameras just on all the actors so that we can catch their reactions to him saying wild stuff. Because often you get a sort of cadenced sort of filming with the amount of cameras that you have. But he was like, nah, just keep the camera on each person and run it. So then when we get into the editing room, we could just cut it the way that we need to, and we won't lose any really great reactions. Now, I really do like this approach because I think it's respectful as an actor, respecting other creatives. So you respect the writers, you respect the script supervisors, you respect the screenplay by coming in, knowing your lines, etc. So you drop in the lines that were worked on and workshopped and drafted, and then you get to kind of let your ability and skills run wild. Also, let your acting run wild, because you get to be or inhabit your character, I think, fully, or it shows how fully you can inhabit a character when you're able to improvise in that character. I think in the improvisation, you're truly living in that character, because you're kind of just, you're letting the character react instead of, I'm in character, I have to say these lines because this is how the character reacts. It's more so let the character do what the character does, kind of a deal. And I like it. Very, very, very Meisner. But I like it very much. And in the co-stars not kind of knowing what Mr. Williams is going to say, their reactions are even more genuine that you capture. Because they're just reacting. They don't have pre-canned reactions in their head because they've read through the script and, oh, this is how my character is supposed to react. When they do those takes, and then when it comes time for the improvisational, it's like, oh, just what comes out. You often find magic and gold in those moments. So I think it's pretty cool and really speaks volumes to Robin Williams' talent, his giftedness as a comedian and as an actor and as a person. Yeah, it's just really cool because that movie is magical. Mrs. Doubtfire is magical. And I would not be surprised if most of that film, what ended up making the edit, were all improvised lines. I wouldn't be surprised. That movie was magic from start to finish. If y'all have not seen it, go see it. I might put a link in the description. Go see it. That joint was fire. But there is a little bit more that he does share. And this is sort of how this was a great thought about going forward. He goes, Mr. Columbus says, there are roughly 972 boxes of footage. Oh no, let me say this. Given the enormous amount of film shot during the making of Mrs. Doubtfire, it might not be a shock to hear that Columbus still has over 900 boxes full of footage that includes outtakes and never before seen clips from behind the scenes of the comedy. He told Business Insider that he's hoping to turn all of this footage into a documentary. Quote, there are roughly 972 boxes of footage from Doubtfire, footage we used in the movie, outtakes, behind the scenes footage in a warehouse somewhere that we would like, and we would like to hire an editor to go in and look at all of the footage. We want to show Robin's process. There's something special and magical about how he went about his work, and I think it would be fun to delve into it. I mean, there's 2 million feet of film in that warehouse, so there could be something we can do with all that. It's a great idea. It's a great paying it forward idea to aspire to be able to look, to aspire to create a kind of content that is teaching. It would be cool because it would be a send up to Mr. Williams's career, Mr. Williams's genius, but also a teaching tool for other actors, a teaching tool for filmmakers, a master class, if you will, for filmmakers and for actors alike. That's something that I would get excited for. I would pay money for, to be able to get a glimpse to the day-to-day on set filming scenes and how Mr. Williams sort of in the moment just gets in the groove, gets in his zone to create magic. I mean, that would be wonderful. That would be joyous. It would be jolly. It would be amazing for me. I don't know about what y'all would think, but absolutely let me know in the comments. What would y'all think about that? Being able to see Robin Williams sort of very candidly. And for those of you who aren't really, who aren't in the how the sausage is made side of filmmaking, it could be something interesting to see how a scene is shot day to day. And you're not necessarily getting like a breakdown of camera angles, etc., because it's gonna be from the perspective of the cameras. But you get to see his reactions. You get to see him if he comes out of character, jumps back in. You get to see what that looks like. That might interest y'all. Let me know what y'all think. Because that's pretty cool. And Robin Williams was absolutely a genius. Absolutely a genius. If y'all don't think so, I don't know what y'all think a genius is. That man was amazing. That man was amazing. But yeah, so moving on. Am I going to do some science? I feel like I'm going to do a little bit of archaeology, a little bit of anthropology, maybe sprinkle that in, sizzle it in. I was not today years old, but definitely this week years old when I found out that they were making ice 400 BC. That ice was a thing, like using ice for things. I'm sure they put it in drinks probably. Using ice to cool things down, using ice for many different uses, but to be able to create it and store it in the desert is wild to me. It's also, I'm going to kind of get to this a different point later, but I'm going to touch on it just a hair this second. It also reminded me of like this idea that our humans in the past might have been more advanced than we think. Like we picture them a certain kind of way, and their lives being a certain kind of thing and their towns and cities looking a certain kind of way. But I think it is a sign of much greater intelligence to be able to take the resources that you see around you and adapt them adapt them to be able to create what you need without modern technologies. Because this is pre-industrial revolution by a long time, hundreds and hundreds of years. So they don't. It's not that what we're going to talk about here with this story. It's not that they have bulldozers and dump trucks and so on and so forth, and electricity and coils, refrigeration. They don't have any of that, but found out how to do it. I mean, so much has to go into it in terms of inventing and inventiveness and resourcefulness to be able to create something like this. Let me get to the story. Get to the article. So this is according to Ancient Origins, reconstructing the story of humanity's past. I want to pronounce this correctly, but please do not come for me in the comments, please, because I really don't. I ain't with it. I want to say the Yachal, ancient ice making machines in the desert. Let's see what they're saying here. In the arid expanses of the Persian desert, an ingenious ancient technology known as the Yachal has been discovered, revealing a sophisticated approach to ice making dating back to 400 BC. These structures, scattered across Iran, functioned as primitive refrigerators, utilizing a cooling system designed to preserve ice throughout the year. The Yachal meant ice pit in Persian. Meaning ice pit in Persian, boasts a distinctive dome shape housing a vast subterranean storage area constructed with thick, heat-resistant materials. The Yachal employed an above-ground evaporative cooling system. How? And it really just looks, for those who don't know, I'm absolutely going to have links in the description to all of the stories that I talk about. So y'all can definitely dive in, see pictures, get a little bit more information from the articles, just so that y'all know. Like, it might feel like, oh, well, why is he leaving things out? Well, there's certain things I'm gonna leave out so that y'all can go click them links. All right, y'all, hit the description, hit the show more, hit the doobly-doo pants bar, and go get that information. But anyway, so the ingenuity here, because it looks like a big like sand clay dome, really, really big structure. You would not think that it's ice that they're creating there. This is how it works. So operating in harmony, get off my screen. Thank you. Operating in harmony with a natural climate, cold air entered through base entries, so entries in the bottom, while the conical design expelled remaining heat through openings at the pinnacle, through openings at the top. The ice-making process commenced in shallow ponds filled nightly from freshwater canals. Shielded from the sun's rays by shading walls, the ponds froze during winter nights. Harvested ice was then transferred to the Yachal, constructed from locally sourced materials such as adobe, clay, egg white, goat's hair, lemon juice, and a water-resistant mortar known as subrouge. These remarkable structures played a vital role in preserving food, drinks, and possibly cooling buildings during the scorching summer months. Today, 119 Yachals endure as historical markers of ancient Persian ingenuity. What in the daggone world? Now, I'm saying what in the daggone world, but I kind of always held that theory that as much as we might have the picture that we do have of ancient civilizations, or at the very least civilizations, just in the past, just in general, not even going super far back. As much as we have that picture, that visual picture of what we understand or what we know at this moment, it really does little by little seem like, if you really look into it, seem like they were much more sophisticated than what we kind of get shown. Like this is a very clear example, one very clear example of that. To be able to put together, or to know, like over time, to put together all of these elements just for the materials that's needed, just for heat resistant barriers, to make the outer bricks and clay and so on out of sub rouge. I mean, lemon juice, egg yolks or egg whites, egg yolks, egg whites. That's wild. Adobe. That's wild to me. Like, how much trial and error, and then how much determination does it take? Because someone had to have been introduced to ice from some kind of, either from trading with other, no, let me not say that. They probably were introduced to ice because of the cold nights, but it would have been a phenomenon. It would not have been something that happened all the time. But they would have had to have been introduced to it, I assume, through trade, like other cultures using ice in front of them to then get the idea. Like, how does that idea come about? Of let me use this coldness to preserve food, or let me use this coldness to make my drink cold, because drinking it cold is good. Man, it blows my mind. I don't know about y'all. It blows my mind. Because you would think back then they're not thinking like this. They're just not thinking like this. But also it reminds me that humans are going to human. People are going to be people. And as much as we might have all of our technologies now, humans from then are just like us. They think the same. They feel the same. They react in the same ways that we react. We're just in a different time period with access to different technology. Man, that blows my mind. And like, even like seeing old video, not that long ago video. I mean, 1940s, just seeing old video of young people doing their thing and how they're reacting to each other and looking at each other and talking to each other and their posture and so on. It's the same as now. They look the same. Posture's the same, walking the same, talking to each other the same. It's just so interesting. It's so interesting. Like, no matter the different clothes, like the different accoutrement that we may put on ourselves in the various societies and various time periods, we're all human beings. It reminds me of that. As much as there may not have been an industrial revolution, 400 BC, they were accomplishing amazing things. They were inventing genius level processes without the help, without standing on the shoulders of generations of people inventing to then eventually get a machine to be able to do it. They were taking nature, they were hijacking natural processes for their own use and their own benefit, which to me is more intelligent, is of a greater intelligence than what we've got now, in my opinion. But that's just wild to me. What do y'all think about that? Like, ice, 400 BC in the deserts in the Middle East, no electricity. They're lighting their streets with fire, with torches. But yo, let me get 4 cubes for my water, dog. What? Wild. Let me get 4 cubes for my fig water, my fig juice. Whoa, that's wild. It's just a thing. It's just a thing. It just interested me, y'all. It just interested me. I'm definitely a history person, if y'all have not realized that yet. I am a history person. Our next. The MTA needs to stop us stupid. When I tell y'all the MTA, not only is the MTA a mafia, and this is New York City, for those of y'all who don't know, I'm in NYC. The MTA is absolutely a mafia. The MTA, like, niggas got to be in pockets. They got to have like senators in their pockets or something. Because the way the MTA scalps the city for money, like shakes them down, it hyper extends construction projects so that they could get more and more money. They can purposefully go over budget is crazy. When you got other countries, other companies in other countries accomplishing the same construction projects at a higher quality, faster, like breakneck faster. What it takes the MTA 13 years to first, if something is supposed to take the MTA 5 years to complete, it's going to take 12 in actuality. That's how long that they're going to go over budget. That's how long that they're going to like kind of mess that up so that, and to me, it's so that they can put more money into their pockets. So CEO top levels can get more and more money, continue to jack up the price, continue to drive up the budgets so that they can line their pockets. You got companies in other countries, England, etc., that would do the same project. If they said it's going to take 5 years, they're going to get it done in 2.5. Like it's there. That's not even anecdotal. It's there. So whenever the MTA says something, don't believe them. They tend to always do ass backwards things. Today, one of the ass backwards things that we're going to talk about, or the ass backwards thing that we're going to address, is their fare evasion problem. Now, for those of you who are listening to this, I am fare evasion problem quoting that air quotes because they don't really care about fare evasion. It's not really a problem, air quotes, because at the end of the day, MTA 20 years ago, 30 years ago, could have put in place turnstiles that made it impossible to hop the turnstile. It existed. They used some of them. The big, the full body ones, for those of you who know, that are the revolving doors. They could have made all the turnstiles those, and you would never be able to hop the train. And they would get all of the fares, max fares that they were going to get out of everybody who's going to use the train. That could have been done 30 years ago. Did they do that? No. Would it have been crazy expensive? Not really. Not really. But they have a fare evasion problem. But they want to how do you say? But they want to hike up the fares, right? Construction stuff and hike up the fares. They already had fare evasion. Niggas was hopping the turnstiles and not paying. They lose a lot of money that way. Then they hike up the price on the people who are paying. Instead of rewarding the people who are paying, we're going to hike up the price. And somehow in their mind, again, ass backwards, gaslighting, somehow in their mind, they're supposed to think that fare evasion is going to become less. Nigga, we already didn't pay it when it was cheaper. Why would we pay it when it's more expensive? What's the point of that? And then gaslight us. Watch. Let me hit the article. Let me hit this dang article, because ain't nobody. Not the NYPD mobilizes. There we go. I got so many stories for y'all for the episodes, but I gotta I kind of sift through. So I've got enough to share with y'all that's interesting to me. I mean, 10 stories, but I ain't doing that. I ain't doing all that. That 2-hour plus episode last week was on another level, y'all. Please understand. I'm giving my effort and my time and my all to these episodes. Going 2 hours plus, I mean, that's one of the longest episodes, if not the longest episode. But again, going over a movie. So I went through the movie from start to finish, but daggone it, was that an interesting sit down. But here we go. This is according to the New York Post. MTA losing staggering amount of money as NYC subway fare baiting surges. Now, this is according to data submitted. This isn't like an anecdotal thing. So why doesn't this want to stay where I need it to? I don't understand. The mic is kind of moving for y'all who can't see. Let's see. Nearly half of bus riders commuted without paying on routes across the city during the third quarter of 2023. According to the figures from the MTA, that's 41%. of bus riders. That's up 4% from when the agency released its exhaustive fare beating report in May. On the MTA Select Bus service, which operates some of the busiest routes in New York City, fare dodging is as high as 48%. Niggas ain't paying for the Select Bus. Skipping out on fares is also increasing on the subway system. An estimated 14% of subway riders jumped the turnstile between July and September, the highest level recorded in the 5 years of MTA data published online. That's ticked up from the 13.5% recorded in the May fare beating report. However, fare evasion on the subway has more than doubled from the 5.7% reported in pre-pandemic 2019. Now, if y'all are hearing the steam from the radiator, we are in NYC. That nigga's gonna clankety, 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 clank because it is December. No, not December. Well, when y'all are watching this, it is December. It's cold. So y'all just gonna have to hear it. Think of it as authentic New York. Overall, the MTA estimated that fare beating cost it an eye-watering $690 million last year, a figure that could be topped this year. Now, here's where the gaslighting is, okay? This lady, Lisa Daglian, a member of the Blue Ribbon panel commissioned by MTA chairman Jano Lieber to track the incidents and publish the extensive report, says this, quote, "Every time they beat the fare, they're really beating themselves." Nigga, where? Because I'm getting to work. I'm getting to where I got to go. Ain't no money left in my wallet. Who am I beating? Let's continue. That's $2.90 that's not going to service, that's not going to an extra subway train or an extra bus run, she said, adding that it is a staggering amount of money that's being stolen from the city's transit system. So here's the gaslighting, my people. So my nigga, we're not gonna act like what we're not gonna do is act like the MTA is a paragon of providing quality service to New York City. That's not what we're gonna do. That's not what we're gonna do. Now she could say this nonsense if the stations were clean and maintained, like in London, if the trains and their train technology was kept up to date, the tracks and the track technology and signal switching, etc., and the tunnels and everything were kept up to date, she could say all of this. Makes sense then. Because, we need the money to continue delivering to you the best service that we could possibly deliver to you, to get these maintenance projects done quicker, because we'll have more revenue. So you're talking about maintenance and expansion like the 2nd Avenue line? Is that what you're talking about? That went over budget crazy? You know what? I'm about to look that up because my nigga, what? I'm going off script. I am going off script because let's hit this. Phase 1 of the 2nd Avenue subway project it started behind schedule and over budget back in 2017. The new stations at 72nd, 86th, and 96th Streets became the largest expansion of the subway system in decades. The total cost of the project is expected to be more than $7 billion. My nigga. and they were going over budget. They went over budget and they went over time. It was supposed to be done in a certain amount of time, because I referenced it earlier, in a certain amount of time, and it ended up going like 10 years. Like, it ended up going crazy construction, crazy over. Now we have dirty stations. We have outdated signaling technology, which they're only beginning to set up and develop. Fix and replace now. I mean, it rains heavy, and the system doesn't know how to handle rain, and it's been around for more than 50 years. Ain't no way that it handles rain. So trains don't run. They stopped the train service from running as a dedicated 24-hour service. So in nights, the trains don't really run like that. The weekend service is what that is. Service in general is what it is. So it's like, are you kidding me? We have mad shit that we got to fix, and they spent X amount of money on new train cars that look like the Metro North rail trains, where they're like joined all the way through with no doors in between the cars. And it was only like a month or something, and they had to pull it off of the tracks. They had to pull it off the tracks to fix a defect, a manufacturing defect. Instead of diverting those funds to accelerating their signal construction projects, they're updating their system update projects. They said, nah, we're going to buy trains that possibly put the riders in danger, because if something happens in a specific car, you're not going to be able to run to safety. Like, you're not going to be able to go to a different car where the door can be closed and locked and shut. If someone's running with a knife, somebody has a gun, somebody's chasing somebody's trying to hurt someone, all of the cars are joined together so you can run from the front of the train all the way to the end contiguously with no doors stopping you. Let's get trains that potentially put our riders in danger, spend billions of dollars on that instead of accelerating these projects, instead of remodeling, updating train stations. But this lady, I'm sorry, Lisa. They're not hurting themselves when they fare evade. Y'all have your company, MTA, is a mafia and has hurt this city and has really no goodwill. Because if you go to any New Yorker, is basically, I'm not gonna cuss crazy, but it's wild. Nobody likes MTA. We just kind of got to deal with it. But the gaslighting is wild. Like, you see what they do with y'all? You see what they want to say to y'all? Fare evasion. The fares are too high. They won't say, oh, the fares are too high. They'll go, oh, nah, we're raising the fare, and those of y'all who are going to evade the fare that can't pay it because it's too high are trash. Like, y'all need to step it up. Stop being broke. Instead of changing the turnstiles so that fare evasion cannot be a thing, completely eliminate it. It will not take that much money. And then bring the fares down. So instead of thinking about trying to get as much money from a single rider as possible, think about kill the fare evasion, but make the prices so low that everybody can have, or as many people as possible can have, access to the train system and the public transportation system. You probably won't be able to do anything with buses. That fare evasion is probably going to always exist. There may be some technologies to utilize to be able to get it together, but I don't think it's going to be a thing anytime soon. But yeah, you make the fare evasion nothing, like impossible to fare evade, which is possible. I mean, we've had the technology already for many years. Just install it. And then bring the fares down. So then you get a greater percentage of New Yorkers taking the trains and paying for the trains so you can make your billions. You bring those fares back down to $1.50 and you kill the fare evasion by changing the turnstiles to make them fare evasion proof, and you're going to make money. You're going to make money. Absolutely. But instead of doing that, instead of thinking about the New Yorkers, instead of thinking about their consumers and what the consumer needs and what the needs of riders are, they're going, nah, we're gonna just get some new trains, spend billions of dollars on that, so that the current CEO, the current chairman, etc., they kind of look good. This will make me look good because it's a new technology, and I was able to close a new contract and put that on the minutes, put that on the quarterly reports, and call it a day, and not really give a goddamn about us. Because they are a necessary evil. They have become that. But yeah, man, gaslighting at its finest. This is what they think about us. I'm not going to talk about Eric Adams on this episode, though there is some wild stuff going on with Eric Adams. I might save that for the next episode because it's getting crazy with this with these allegations, etc. And it's getting crazy with the budget cuts, which I'm going to rant about on the next one. So thank y'all so much again at Social Millennial Pod on all social medias, YouTube, anywhere that you listen to the podcast, or you can, or you want to, or you subscribe or ascribe or use whatever platform. You should be able to find us there at Social Millennial Pod, SocialMillenialpod. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much. So much going on in the world. I'm not paying attention to what's happening with Israel and the world stage, just deciding tonight to kind of lighten up a little bit. I know y'all are getting it from all sides. Everybody wants to talk about it. I might talk a little bit more about what's happening currently in the next one, but just want to be light. We're heading into the Christmas season. Y'all see my Christmas lights. Y'all see my Christmas hat. Shout out to Six Flags. You feel me? Great adventure. We the best park. Yeah, so we in the Christmas time. I've been feeling good. I can't complain. I've got a bunch of stuff to do, and I'm really excited to be able to be doing it. I feel very blessed to be in front of y'all. Everybody under the sound of my voice, thank y'all so much. Have a great week. Be strong. Be blessed. We gonna make it through. All right. Deuces.